Are all the judges ready? All right, timer. Both teams? Yeah. Yes. All right, well, then I'll begin. In this last affirmative speech, I'm just going to be summing up the round from the affirmative team's perspective and showing you why we believe that an affirmative ballot is still merited. Let's start off with Roman's arguments. The first one was that of basically addressing our fact. Our fact was that we need reform now because every minute we wait, it gets worse. And he said that tax cuts were not justified. My response is that tax hikes become twice as bad. This is what the piece of evidence said, that if we wait, the tax hikes and spending cuts needed to plug the hole could nearly double what is needed today. So every minute we wait, the tax cuts and tax increases needed to plug the hole get even larger. So under the affirmative team's plan, it is still justifiable to do the plan now rather than to do twice as high of tax, large tax cut, in the future. So this is still justification for this. He said that the fiscal crisis would happen in 10 years, but this evidence didn't say the fiscal crisis would happen in 10 years. It was just saying the economic damage over 10 years would be this much, so it didn't actually say this. My third response is better act sooner than later. It's better to act now than to act later. Now, he said that spending could increase and that the arguments actually go together very well, that Congress is very flexible, but they accept that there's political gridlock in the short term right now. So at least until the midterm elections, we know that in the short run, there will be no solution to our problems. And every minute we wait, it will get even worse. So by the time we could even possibly solve this problem of the deficit, the problem will just get worse, and it'll be harder than under the status quo. Now, his voting issue number one was of historical success. Now, he said that the United Kingdom market was their example really applies to this. My response is other markets. They could totally drop my partner's analysis and my analysis, the original analysis to this about how there's other markets in the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom does not just have the London Stock Exchange. So there's other exchanges there, including the derivatives markets, in which high-frequency trading is rampant. We're specifically talking about the London Stock Exchange and how the FTT was successful on that, because it was only implemented on the London Stock Exchange. There are other markets, and that's where the high-frequency trading takes place. They also did not respond to the argument that high-frequency traders have to be at the place in order to be trading high-frequency trading. So they accept that all the high-frequency trading that we reduce comes in the United States. Thus, they accept solvency for this harm or for this advantage if we can prove that the volatility is bad. Now, under the voting issue, I have another response, and this was to my partner's analysis, that basically she was saying since the London Stock Exchange is a stock market, they're taxing everything in that market. It's equivalent to doing our plan in the United States markets, where all the different transactions are mixed together. His voting issue number two was of economic stagnation. I have two responses to this. First off, we only decrease high-frequency trading, which, as we saw from the first affirmative speech, is destabilizing and harmful to the markets. It caused the 2008 market crash. My second response is that we encourage long-term investment. This has actually gone uncontested by the negative team, that we encourage long-term investment. The only argument that they had under here was that trading would migrate, which I'm going to be addressing momentarily. My third response is GDP in the long run. Now, we saw that the increased cost of capital, which was the link to basically investment being hurt and efficiency. They specifically read two cards under those two disadvantages. They said the cost of capital would increase to users. And we saw that that was actually a good thing for the overall economy. And this went unrefuted. The evidence specifically went unaddressed. Now, the volatility argument, they had two arguments under here. First off, of migration, and then of basically how the UK has failed. I have two responses to these. First off, anyone can move. This is called migration. You can move to the UK. That's allowed. This is not really evading the tax system. My second response is these are projections. All the evidence that they brought up relating to the United Kingdom is projected evidence. This is what the experts are saying will happen. What we've seen from the United Kingdom is what did happen. And we believe that that is a better example, and this is the reason you should go with the affirmative team. So my voting issues are, firstly, revenue increase. We increase revenue by taxing these harmful financial transactions. And the affirmative team accepts that we generate at least some revenue through our plan. My second response is productive. My second voting issue, is productive investment. Productive investment will be encouraged under our plan. We will shift the high-frequency traders away from this destabilizing short-term trading over to long-term investment. My third voting issue is of historical examples. We saw in the UK, their evidence does not apply. Ours does. The UK has been a success with the FTT. We would ask you to vote affirmative. Thank you.